J.J. Watt has had an incredible career full of great and high moments. When you think about the Houston Texans, you don't think of a historic quarterback or an historic running back or wide receiver. You think of a defensive end, number 99, J.J. Watt. He is not just a football player. He's the football player who built the Houston Texans. J.J. Watt went to Milwaukee High School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There he played multiple positions, but specifically defensive end and tight end. When you think of J.J. Watt, you think of a future Hall of Famer, and you think he must have been a 5-star recruit, but it couldn't be more of the opposite. He was only a 2-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports Composite, and this eventually led him to committing to the University of Central Michigan. While at Central Michigan, J.J. Watt hardly saw the field. He played in 14 games, but only had 8 catches for 77 yards. After that season, he decided that he wanted to walk on at the University of Wisconsin, and then I guess you could say the rest was history. J.J. Watt is known for his work ethic, and he decided to just outwork everybody and explode onto the scene. In his sophomore year at Wisconsin, he had a total of 44 tackles, 15.5 for a loss, and 4.5 sacks. And then in 2010, in his junior year, had a total of 62 tackles, 21 for a loss, and 7 sacks, and 1 interception. In just 2 seasons, he tallied 106 tackles, 36.5 for a loss, with 11.5 sacks and 1 pick. This soared his draft stock to where he would be drafted one of the highest in the NFL.
With the 11th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select J.J. Watt.
The Houston Texans were 6-10 in the NFL and needed a massive help on the defensive side of the ball, and they selected J.J. Watt, and the fans weren't too happy about it.
I hate it. It's a bad pick. Move down and pick him. Don't waste an 11th pick on him.
It's crazy to look back at it now, just how stupid the Texans fans were, but they ultimately came around, as J.J. Watt has been known as the man who built the Houston Texans. In J.J.'s opening NFL debut against the Colts, he had 5 tackles and a fumble recovery. And on November 27th against the Jacksonville Jags, Watt had his first multi-sack game with 2 sacks in a 20-13 win over the Jags. J.J. Watt finished his rookie year with 48 solo tackles, 8 assisted tackles, and 5.5 sacks, and that helped the Texans qualify for a playoff for the first time in their franchise history. Watt balled out in that playoff run as he had 11 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles, an interception returned for a touchdown, 1 pass defended, and 3.5 sacks in 2 games against the Bengals in the wild card and the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. Watt was named the Texans Team Rookie of the Year, USA Today All-Joe Team, and Pro Football Weekly Rookie Team. The very next year in 2012 would be his breakout year. Watt had one of the best seasons for a defensive player in NFL history. He finished the season with 69 solo tackles, 12 assisted, 20.5 sacks, 16 pass defended, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. That year it came with a lot of accolades, but the biggest one of all, he was voted the Defensive Player of the Year. He received 49 out of the 50 votes, and he was the first player in Texans history to receive an NFL Player of the Year. Oh, and that year in the top 100 players of 2012, he came in at number 5. J.J. Watt went on to play 10 seasons with the Houston Texans and then 2 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals in the past 2 years of 21 and 2012. And here are his total stats. 149 games played, 445 solo tackles, 135 assisted, 111.5 sacks, 191 tackles for a loss, 27 forced fumbles, 17 fumble recoveries, 1 for a touchdown, 2 interceptions for 99 total yards, and 2 touchdowns. Let's just think about that for a second. In 2014, he had 1 interception for 80 yards and a touchdown. And then in 2020, he had 1 interception for 19 yards and a touchdown. J.J. Watt changed the path for the Houston Texans. He took them to the postseason in 2011, 2012, 2015, 2016, and 2018. Oh, and 2019. Let's talk about awards. J.J. Watt was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection. He was the Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in 2012, 2014, and 2015. He was the NFL sack leader twice in 2012 and 2015. He was the NFL MVP runner-up in 2014. Of course, J.J. Watt was great on the field, but he was even better human being off the field, always giving to charities and doing so much for the city of Houston, and that led him to be in the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year in 2017. He was the defensive MVP for the Pro Bowl in 2014, and as far as the top 100 players ranked, of course, he was ranked number 1 in the top 100 in 2015. Oh, and to put a cherry on top, he's the first player with multiple 20-sack seasons, that coming in 2012 and 2014. You really could go on and on about J.J. Watt, but the fact of it is, he is 100% the man who built the Houston Texans. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He should probably have a statue out in front of the Houston Texans stadium, and he's always going to be remembered as one of the great defensive players in NFL history. He's retiring at the end of this season, and he deserves all the accolades. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. Big congratulations to J.J. Watt.